Hey, what's up, everyone? Kaizur here, and it's been a while since I've made a tutorial type video on this channel, especially after the nerfs, because I mean they really destroyed our girl. Like, she is a completely different character, to be honest, in neutral than how she was. And for a long time, I was very certain I was going to completely drop her, but recently that has changed. I now know what I need to do to play her, and I've been finding success with her. I do not think I'll be using her for every matchup. There are certain matchups where she is just not a good choice in tournament. However, I do plan on playing her for the most part, and I wanted to share some of those findings, some of these ways to play her with you guys. So the biggest nerf, in my opinion, is the wall running 3-2 nerf. The fact that it's only +2 on block means that after you block this, or after you make them block, if they do this dick jab, Azucena cannot win. It's really basically not her turn. You have to do a very big call out, like something like an orbital, in order to beat that. But again, if they think you're just gonna do the orbital, bro, they can just do anything, literally anything. If they just do jab jab, even, they'll just beat your orbital, you know. Like, this is a really sad mix-up. It's a really sad mix-up, and this was part of the reason that I was dooming so much. I'm like, I'm a big wall running guy. That's been my thing since Tekken 7, as most of you guys probably are aware. So it's like, what's the point now if my wall running sucks? But there is one way to beat both these options that I figured out, because this is +2. It's actually the perfect timing for you to sidestep. So if you do this and you sidestep right, you can beat both options and launch them for it. So you do have a way to be able to win. You do have to be fast, react to it, but you can do it, you know? This is the secret. This is how you play Azucena. This is how you use her wall running 3-2 now. It is not your turn in the way that it was before, but you can still make it a 50-50 on whether or not they press anything, or whether you sidestep right and you punish that sidestep, you know, or punish them pressing. That is the new mix-up, is whether or not you press right away, or if you sidestep and launch punish. That's what wall running 3-2 is now. That is your mix-up. Which is sort of sad, but in a way it's almost better than what the +5 gave us, because it is now in the perfect frame spot to be able to sidestep right after. You can sidestep left too, by the way. It works either way. Obviously, I like sidestepping right just because it's easier for me to confirm it personally, but go whichever way you want. This is how you use wall running 3-2 now. So the other really big nerfs that has come out from this patch has been 2-1. It's really bad now. The reason that 2-1 is really bad, by the way, is before this nerf, with 2-1, you were able to sidestep on block and you'd be fine, but now you can't sidestep. You're 2- now. So you just have to hold. After you do this, it's not your turn anymore. You have to either finish it to try to get your turn, or you just got to hold back, which really sad. This was one of her best ways to steal turns, was doing 2-1 as a sidestep. Can no longer do that. Also, her down forward 1 is really not nearly as great as it was for a couple of reasons, but the biggest one being that if they try to sidestep to the left now, it's super easy to sidestep. Same thing for 2-1, by the way. Super easy. So try again. Super easy to sidestep. Yeah, the bot's not perfect, but yeah, no, both those moves are no longer very useful, or at least not the way that they used to be. So what I like to do more now, whenever I think someone's gonna sidestep, is I'll use the forward 4, or I'll try to use the back 2, because it's just better. Why aren't you even trying to step, bro? Come on. There we go. Make sure to use those moves more. The other thing you can do if they're sidestepping you a lot is jab and then do that. Wow. Wait. Let me try again. Yeah, there you go. You got to do a realigning thing. For people who don't get that, you have to like hold forward for a certain amount of time before your character like starts following. If you don't do it for long enough, you'll just whiff like this. You have to make sure you go for a little bit longer so it realigns. Anyway, yeah, those are the 3 biggest nerfs and sort of how you can play around them now. But yeah, no, you have to, don't use down 4-1-4 nearly as much. Don't use 2-1 nearly as much. But you know what you should use more? Down back 3. This is like the only move they buffed for Azucena. It's really, really good these days. Let me turn off these punishments real quick. So down back 3 does more damage than down back 4 now, which I think is stupid. But also, it does incentivize going into back turn stance more. And you should be using this move a lot anyway because it's safe on block. If you haven't checked out my back turn guide, I highly recommend it. You can understand why. But yeah, it just does a lot of damage. You probably want to use this a lot more than you used to. That, along with the wall running 3-2 sidestep thing, that will probably do you pretty good. There's a lot of mind games now. Current Azucena is all about the mind games. You know, before also, I was always telling everyone that you should do 1-2 as a punish over 1-1. I no longer think that's the case. Unless you're at the wall, of course. If you're at the wall, you should do 2-1 or 1-2 rather and get this wall splat, all that kind of thing. Easy peasy. However, if you're in the middle of nowhere, you should use 1-1 now because stances are everything for Azucena currently. They drastically destroyed her neutral to force you to use these stances, and they are good. They are good. This is how you can actually get people afraid of your characters, by being in stance and using your hell sweep or using your launch. They are forcing you to use these more. I've been using down back 3 into 1-2 a lot more recently, ever since the nerf. I find this to be very useful because you cancel it. You can also go into a mid 2. That's a counter hit launcher. Yeah, try to go into as many stances as possible while also still forcing the opponent to respect your play by using frame traps. Like, again, down back 3 into 1-2. If they press anything there, they're done. In fact, let me turn that on. They'll use the fastest move that we got. That's the jab. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, where if she tries to press here, gets hit. Of course, there's also the normal counter hit as well, but this is not safe. This is -11, which is why I've been using the 1-2 more often. And also this wall splats, which is great. We love that. So yeah, I highly recommend trying to mess around with all this back turn shenanigans, more of the front turn shenanigans. Don't be in her neutral state for basically as much as you can. Do not be here. This is not nearly as great as it used to be. How to get into this stance more often. So obviously they nerfed 1-1, so that now this is no longer safe on block. And so if someone does that, they can take their 10th frame. So you don't want to use 1-1 that much anymore. To get into stance these days, I would recommend you use forward 3 a lot more because it goes into stance right off the bat just by itself. There's also the 3-2 cancel, which is really, really good. There's also the back, like, what's called the up back, this little backflip. Another fun way to get into stance, especially if you're in heat. It's one of my favorite ways to get into stance in heat. It's boom. This also does it from here. Really, really sick. But yeah, you have to really sneak your way into stance more, which is also why I was talking about, like, doing this. 'Cause look at that. It's really sick, right? You have to get yourself into your stances without the opponent, like, really realizing what's happening. That's a big part of the current Azucena meta. But yeah, anyway, for all the remaining Azucena players out there, I am with you. I'm not gone. I'm not going anywhere. I will keep playing this character. It's gonna suck a little bit from time to time, but I'm gonna stick with her. I still think that there is a character that's really fun underneath all of this, even though she is way worse than when she originally was put out. And as a competitor, it hurts me a little bit to play a worse version of the character I was playing, but we got this. I got this.